Hey guys, how's it going? So today we'll be watching how the universe is way bigger than you think. Now this video is by Real Life Lore. You can find the original link in the description down below. Welcome to Imperials React. My name is Marius. You can follow me on socials right here, or you can click the links in the description down below. Also, please don't forget to subscribe, click the bell, and turn on the notifications. And like the video if you enjoy watching. Now let's get right to it.
This is Earth. You live here on this planet somewhere, and
I
everything
really like
you've
this
ever
kind of
known is
videos.
located right here. But
So
just how
interesting
small
and
exactly is
informative.
Earth when compared to the scale of the entire universe? Let's start by zooming out to where we can see our nearest cosmic neighbor,
The
the
moon.
Moon. You may think
Yeah.
that the Moon is very close to Earth since it dominates our night skies, but in reality the Moon isn't this close to our planet, it's actually about this far away. 384,400 kilometers away from you right now.
Damn, that's
on
far.
average. You could fit 30 entire Earths in between this distance.
Oh, really?
If you somehow were able to drive a car
Okay.
at a constant 100
I
kilometers
didn't
per hour
expect that.
speed, it would take you about 160 days to drive the entire distance. Despite this incredible distance, however, 12 humans have actually set foot here, representing the furthest away that any individual human has ever been away from the Earth, and one of humanity's greatest achievements.
And
This
that's
is what the Earth
awesome.
would look like from there if you were standing there with them, and if you wanted to communicate with somebody back at home, it would take a message about 2.5 seconds to travel between you and them, since that's how fast the speed of light can travel at. This is a photo that was taken on Mars, and that tiny dot that you see
Oh.
there is Earth as seen from the
Okay.
Martian surface. On average, Mars is an incredible 225 million kilometers away from Earth, but that distance can be as high as 401 million kilometers. That means that whenever humanity finally gets around to landing a human on the planet, that person will be 986 times further away from Earth
Damn,
than
no,
the
that's
astronauts
far.
who landed on the Moon were. In addition, the time delay for sending a message from Mars back to Earth isn't just 2.5 seconds, it's actually more like 20 minutes each
20
direction.
minutes.
Which would
Time
render
delay?
instant communication in the event of an emergency impossible.
That's
When
kinda
we zoom
scary
out
if you
even
think
further
about it.
away, we can find the Voyager 1 space probe, which is the furthest
Yeah.
away man-made
I've read
object from
about it.
Earth. It is currently located 138 AUs from the Earth. AU meaning astronomical unit, which is the distance between the Earth and the Sun,
Oh, okay.
which means that Voyager 1 is
Didn't know that.
138 times further away from us than the Sun is.
Damn.
At some point on its long voyage, Voyager 1 turned its camera around and took this photograph. It may not look like much at first, but in my opinion,
Yeah, I
this
know
is the
this.
greatest single photograph
seen it
ever
before.
taken in all of human history. This tiny, pale blue dot is Earth, and I don't think that anybody has ever said something as amazing about this as
Yeah,
Carl
that's awesome.
Sagan when he said, "If you look at it, you see a dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you ever heard of,
Yeah.
every human being who ever lived out their lives. The aggregate of all our joys and sufferings. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and every forager. Every hero and coward. Every creator and destroyer of civilizations. Every king and every peasant. Every young couple in love. Every hopeful child. Every mother and every father. Every inventor and explorer. Every teacher of morals. Every corrupt politician. Every superstar. Every
So interesting
supreme
how they
leader.
describe humanity.
Every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam.
Okay,
Voyager
on a
1 is
mote of
currently
dust. That
traveling
sounds
at
so
17
funny.
kilometers every single second, but even at that speed, it won't break out of the reach of our solar system for another
Oh.
30,000 years.
Damn.
Once we go
30,000
beyond the
years.
solar system, we
Jesus.
arrive in our interstellar neighborhood. Here we shift to the light year unit of measurement, which is the distance that
Interstellar
light
neighborhood.
travels in a full Earth year, or about 9.461 trillion kilometers. The star Proxima Centauri here is the
Alpha
closest other
Centauri,
star to us
okay.
other than our Sun, but it's still 4.24 light years away from us. To put that into perspective, if it was heading in the right direction, it would still take Voyager 1 over 70,000 years to reach it. In other words, if you drove your car at 100 kilometers an hour like in our previous example to the moon, it would take over 6 times longer than the entire age of the universe is just to finally get there, and it wouldn't even exist still when you arrived. When we zoom out even further, we can see the entire Milky Way galaxy, inside of which Earth is located right here. This yellow dot is the furthest extent of humanity's radio broadcasts throughout history, which means that any possible aliens who live outside of this range are totally unaware of humanity's presence. It's complete silence outside of this yellow dot as far as we are currently aware, but the entire galaxy spans over 100,000 light years from end to end. There are over 100 billion stars and over 100 billion planets inside of our galaxy, but you have never seen the full glory of the galaxy at night, because 99% of the stars that you can see with the naked eye are limited to this small, tiny region right here. But even this massive galaxy is nothing compared to the rest of what's out there. Zooming out even further and we arrive at the local group of galaxies, a collection of 54 different galaxies that is about 10 million light years across. But zooming out even further and we can see the Virgo supercluster, of which the local group here is just a tiny segment of. There are at least 100 other groups of galaxies just like our own local group inside of here, and the distance from one side to the other is a mind-numbing 110 million light years. But even the massive Virgo supercluster is nothing but a quiet and tiny lobe of the Great Laniakea supercluster, an enormous structure that is home to our galaxy as well as 100,000 other galaxies. The distance from one side to the other is 520 million light years, but from even there we can zoom out all the way to the entire observable universe and see that even the titanic Laniakea supercluster is just a tiny and insignificant part of everything. This is the observable universe, and it contains everything that we know of. It is home to at least 2 trillion different and individual galaxies, which together contain more stars than there are grains of sand on the entire Earth. The distance from Earth to any side of the observable universe is 46.5 billion light years, which means that the entire width is 93 billion light years across. What's perhaps even more interesting, however, is what actually lies beyond the observable universe. Keep in mind that the observable universe is all that we can currently see, and it's entirely possible that the rest of the universe outside of it is vastly larger and more fantastic than we can possibly ever imagine. We simply don't know what else is out there, because the light from these incredibly distant places has not yet had enough time in the universe's history to reach us yet back on Earth. And the light from some places may never reach us at all. Because some parts of space very far away from Earth are expanding away from us faster than the speed of light, that means that the light from these places will never, in an infinite amount of time, reach Earth. Meaning that even if humanity is eternal and exists forever, there will still be an unknown number of places in the universe that we will never know about or ever see. So, it is very likely that as unbelievably enormous as it seems, the observable universe is just a tiny slice of what we can currently see of the entire universe. According to the theory of cosmic inflation that was proposed by Dr. Alan Guth, if it is assumed that cosmic inflation began at 10 to the negative 37th of a second after the Big Bang, and with the assumption that the size of the universe before inflation began was equal to its age times the speed of light, then this would seem to suggest that at the present day, the entire universe is 150 sextillion times larger than the observable universe. That number for reference looks like this, with this many zeros. Let this number sink in for just a moment. This would be similar to you thinking that the entire observable universe, everything that you could see, was the size of a light bulb, but then realizing that in reality the entire universe is larger than the former planet of Pluto. Imagine a light bulb in the center of Pluto, but we inside the light bulb were totally unaware that Pluto existed outside of it, and that's a similar situation to this. We are all so unbelievably small, but you shouldn't worry, because all that means is that there is so much left out there for us to discover together.
Yeah, and that's awesome and exciting. Okay guys, so that was how the universe is way bigger than you think. It's a really awesome video, but you kinda lose the sense of scale at some point. But still, like, it's very interesting to know these things, and I'm 100% sure there are aliens out there. Maybe like even some that look exactly like humans, because there are so many planets that I feel like there are others that are basically a copy of Earth with the same living conditions. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed it. Please don't forget to subscribe, and see you all next time.